Assalamualaikum and good evening. Uh, my name is Ishan and my partner name is Muhammad Aiman Rashidi. And today we will be presenting our program for our mini project. Our group have been tasked with creating a program that is based on SCADA 5B, which is traffic management. I will hand the presentation over to my partner where he will explain about the login.
Hi, my name is Aiman Rashidi, and I will be explaining about SCADA user login. So as you can see, we will run the program to log in us. So we will log in now. So first I will show you what will happen if I put in the correct user and a password. So the username is Wally West and the password is Barry Allen. So as you can see, we have succeed to log in the SCADA user login. First thing, it will show the mode, which is there are two. It randomized variable data and user input variable data. So later, my partner Izhan will explain further for this part. So I will just put the user input variable data, and so now, as you can see, this is our main menu, which is there are five main function. One is to change to another mode, which is the six. So first we have road asset monitoring. Second we have traffic flow analysis, and third we have incident reporting, and fourth we have weather impact alert, and lastly we have visibility check. So we will log out first, and I will show you what happened if I put in the wrong user and wrong password. We will just put the random word. Just mm. So we will press like three times. We have three attempts, and as you can see, too many invalid input, and we will log out the system. So I will show you the same thing. What if we put the wrong password? Our user is Wally West, and our password I will put as 123. So as you can see, too many wrong password. We will log out from the system. So I will hand over to Izhan for him to explain the main function of the system.
So, uh, I'm Ishan, and I'm now going to demo the main functions of the system. So we will log in. I've made so that for our program, the variable data is can either be randomized or user input. So first thing I will show the randomized mode first. So we enter 0 randomized mode. And for the first task, I will show the road asset monitoring, and you will see what I meant by randomized data. So as you can see, we can see it shows the speed trap is not working, the road lights are not working, traffic lights is working as intended, and the road condition is usable. We will run the code again. So we will compare the two output. The difference are traffic lights are not working And as you can see, after it's done with every function, it will loop back to the main menu. So we will run it again to show the randomization. And as you can see, the speed trap is operational. The road lights is bright and functional. Traffic light is not working, and the road condition is very bad. I will show you what happens if we user input the data ourselves. So we will input 6 to change to the user input mode. So I will, now that we are in the user input mode, I will enter 1. Okay, enter speed trap availability. We will put as available. Road lights functionality not functioning. Traffic light working, and road condition perfect. So it will give us this output based off our user input data. So for our other function 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's basically the same thing under different function. There will be a randomizer and a user input mode. So we will go back to the randomizer, and we will go on to our second function, which is traffic flow analysis. And again, every time after it's done, it always loops back to the main menu. So traffic flow analysis, highway speed 47 kilometer per hour. We randomize, as you can see, and it shows that it's at average speed 19 kilometers per hour downtown. At downtown, it says that it's low speed. So we will run the code again in under and randomizer mode. As you can see, highway speed is average, then downtown speed has good flow. We'll run it one more time. And now this time, both of the speed at highway and downtown are average. I will show you what happens in user input mode. It tells us to input the mode, so highway speed, we'll put 110. While downtown, we'll put 25, maybe there's 23, maybe there's an accident. So now it will say highway has good flow. At 23 kilometers per hour, it's considered average at downtown because of the way the road is there. If you wanna get a different output, so we will do 2, maybe 40 and 15. So the traffic flow analysis is low speed for both. So now we will go back to the randomizer to show the next function, which is incident reporting. So for the incident reporting, it will show us 3 roads and give us an overall output. So first road is very low speed. So and then the accident is reported. Same thing for the second road, but road 3 is fine. There's no accident. Overall, it is heavily congested. So prepare for anything. We will show you the incident reporting again. So since at least since 2 of the roads have accident reported, it will give us the same overall output. So we will show again. So now only one road has accident reported. So our output is slightly congested but nothing major. So now I will show you in the user input mode. So let's say all 3 roads are fine. So I will enter 1 3 times. And our incident report would be no accidents for all 3 roads and excellent traffic. I will show you what happens if all 3 roads have accidents. So 0, 0, and 0. Our incident report would be just stay at home because you know there's all the road are closed. So now we will go to the next function, which is weather impact alert. We will of course again start it in randomizer mode. It'll pick a random weather, and it pick light rain, and the flood risk from light rain is a slight chance, and the message is drive carefully. And forgot to mention, every time one of the function finishes, it always show an exit code to the main menu. So now we will run the code again in randomizer mode. So now the current weather status is cloudy, and the flood risk is slim to none. But the message is be on the look for potential rain. So now we will go into the user input mode and input ourselves. So there's 5 selections: sunny, flood risk is 0, and message will be have a nice drive. We can put thunderstorm. Current weather status thunderstorm, flood risk is guaranteed, and the message is get to safety immediately. So that's it for the weather impact alert. For last and final is our visibility check. So we'll go back to the randomizer and visibility check. The visibility is clear and the comment is have a nice ride. We will run it again. And the visibility status is heavy rain. The comment is low visibility. Careful of slippery road. We will run it again. Black smoke. Nearby fire detected. Watch out for black smoke. So now we will show you all the inputs. So there's clear, foggy, rain, and smoky. So if it's foggy, thick fog, drive with caution. Make sure to turn on fog light. And I've shown you all the other 3 output. So now I will be explaining our code. Roughly our code is 304 lines of code. We will first go to the main function to show what it calls for. So first, obviously, it calls for all the variables integer. I'll explain later what these are. And this is the important part of the important line of our code. Run time null. It is to set a randomizer number based on our time. If this line of code doesn't exist, our randomizer would be the same variable every time. So this code is important so that when every time the code runs, the randomizer is different. And this set vbuff stout null INBF is to prevent sleep from randomly applying new line twice. I've had a problem with some part of the code where it is very inconsistent with how it applies the new line, and I've done my research. Apparently this should fix it, and it prints the SCADA user interface, and it calls for the user login function and the choose mode. So first we will show the user login. So this is how it's done. Sorry, here. This is how it's done. So first, obviously, it's gonna want us to input the user. So here's the print user, and it will scan and input it into character username with 100. And then using include string.h and this function strcmp, we can compare whether or not our username matches our master user, which is right up here. So first thing first, in this, if in this condition, sorry, if the user name input is the same as the actual user, which is Wally West, it will break this if condition, and we'll go to the next part of the code, which is the password. So if the password doesn't match, you will check if the name counter is to count how many attempts. If it's already more than 3, it's 2 here because every number starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2. It will set at too many invalid input, and it will exit the code. And if it's neither of these two condition, it will show that invalid user, and then it will increase the name counter, which is our username attempt. So it starts at 0, and if you get it wrong, so this condition cannot be applied, and neither does this, so it will go to the final one. It will add to the counter. So now our counter is 1 if we get it wrong, and then we get another attempt if we get it wrong, and then once it gets to 3 attempt, it will exit the code. But if you get the correct one, it will let us go through to the next, which is the password. But it is basically the same thing. It is literally just the same thing. It starts in a while loop. It checks for the password counter. PW is password, and then scans for it, and then put the password into the character. So it's basically the same thing, using strcmp to compare the user input and the master password. If it matches, then it will break and it will go to the next part of the code. If it doesn't, it will add to the counter, and if too many attempts are met, then it will exit the code. So we'll go back to the main function. So once the user login is done, will ask us to choose the mode, the one that I demonstrated just now. We have 2 mode, which is randomizer and user input. So here's the choose mode. So while 1, so basically it will just loop until we get the correct input. So it prints the choose mode, and it will tell us 0 is randomized and 1 is user input, and it scans for it and stores it in mode 0. So if the input is correct, which is either 0 or 1, it will return the value with the using the function. But if you try to input any other number other than 0 and 1, it will say that invalid mode, please try again. Actually, I will demonstrate it to you right now. US very early. So if I put 4, it will just tells me to try again until I put the correct input, which is either 0 or 1. So now I'll show it to you. So only then it will let us through the management menu. So now going back to the code. So this is just a simple piece of code. So mode chosen equals to the chose mode. So just now, if you remember correctly, it will return mode. So if this function returns 0, it will tells us that it wants to be in randomizer mode. So if you put input 0, mode chosen will be 0. If it's 1, it will be user input. So to the next part of the code, this is the main part of the code where the functions all dies down. So first thing first, it starts with a while loop. Everything is nested in a while loop, so that as long as the input is not 0, it will keep on looping the management menu. So first thing first, it checks for what menu, which part of the menu we chose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the mode chosen. We will see master menu right here. So first thing first, it checks for the mode. If it gives us 1, okay. So since 1 is supposed to be user input, this is flip. I will show you to you later why. This is the part where it loops the traffic management menu, as you can see here, where it keeps on looping. Here's the while, and at the very end, as you can see, change to %s, and depends on our input. So if our input just now is 1, it will show us randomizer because it is changed to randomizer. It's not that it is in user input mode. And then here is just to check whether the user input is correct. So it checks for menu, if the menu choose, which is this thing right here or at the top, if it's 0 or 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you try to input anything, any other number, it will show us invalid selection. Please try again. So that's the master menu function, where it has a passing parameter of the mode just now, and it returns menu choose, which is either from 0 to 6. So now we have a switch case loop statement, I mean. So switch based on the menu. So if we input 0, it will exit the code. If we input 6, it will switch to the other mode. So if you're in randomizer, it will go to the user input mode. And this part of the printf, there's a few of this printf that I use. So this is actually a very compact if else statement. The %s asks for mode chosen, the value of mode chosen. So if mode chosen is 1, the value of mode chosen is 1 from here, from at the top here. It will tell the printf to print user input. If it's 0, it will tell the printf to print randomizer. It is separated by this. I use a few of this compact if else printf statement in the code. So now for the first function, first declare the variable, obviously. SC stands for speed camera, RL stands for road light, TL stands for traffic light, and RC stands for road condition. And this is the randomizer part. If mode chosen 0, because our 0 is into randomizer. First it checks for the mode SC. So this is our randomizer. This 2 means it can only give us 2 output. So speed camera, either it work or it doesn't. Road light, either it work or it doesn't. Traffic light, either it work or it doesn't. And the road condition, it can be either of 3 value, which is either very bad, usable, or perfect. So that's why it has a 3 here instead of a 2, just like the rest of the other thing. So if the mode chosen is 1, it will print enter speed tab availability. So this is basically where the user itself input the data by themselves. So it's the speed trap, road light, traffic light, road condition. the SC, RL, TL, and RC. And then after we get our data, either by randomizing or user input, you'll go to the main function of the first function, print the road offset metering. And I also use a lot of the sleep 1000 thanks to the Windows library. This is just to make it so that it looks nicer instead of the output all popping out at once. It doesn't look as nice. So speed trap percent. So this is what I was talking about, the compact if else statement. SC, if it's 1, which is good, operational. If it's 2, if it's 0, it's not working. So it's the same thing for road light. Again, the question mark and the colon. It's same thing for the traffic light. But since our road condition has can be three value, we cannot use this function. We have to go back to the switch case statement. So switch, it checks for the RC value. If it's 0, it's very bad. If it's 1, it's usable, and if it's 2, it's perfect. And then it sleeps for 1000 millisecond, and then data process exiting, sleep to 1000, and then this continue. It basically skips all the other case statement, and then it loops back to master menu, the traffic management menu. So now we'll look for our code at the second function. So obviously the variable declaration, MH is main highway and DT is downtown. This constant character with the pointer is so that we can code in string using character easier. From what I've researched, this is good if the string is permanent and not changing. If you want to keep on changing the string value, we cannot use this. We have to use another method. So we will see if mode chosen 0, which is our randomizer. The main highway, it will randomize the speed between 30 and 130. So the randomizer here gives us a value of 0 to 100. But since we want the range to be 30 to 130, it will plus it. So the range is actually 30 to 130. Same thing for the downtown speed. Once it randomizes the value 0 to 80, it will plus a 10. So that the range is 10 to 80. So the randomizer isn't totally all too random lah. And if the mode chosen is 1, which is a user input, it will just the same thing as just now. Ask for the input. So here is the process for the highway and the downtown. If the speed on the highway is less than 40, the main highway status, that's the S stands for, it stands for status, it will say it's low speed. If it's more than or equals to 41 and less than or equals to 80, using this, the status will be average. If it's anything above 80, it will says good flow. For the downtown, it's a little bit different because obviously the roads are different. So if it's less than or equals to 20, it's very low speed. If it's above 20, between 50, it's average speed. And anything above 50 is good flow for downtown. So here is the main print for the traffic flow analysis for our second function. Obviously the sleep to make it look nicer. Highway speed %D from the randomizer or the user input. The %S from the MHS, our main highway status. And as you can see, the main highway status and the downtown status uses the pointer character, the pointed character, the pointer, the asterisk. This just makes it so that it's easier to input strings into a printf. Just like this, it's very easy. So I will show the downtime speed and the status. Same for the highway speed, as I've shown just now. And then traffic flow analysis done, exiting, and continue, and it loops again. So for the next function, which is incident reporting. So again, it checks for the mode. If it's 0, it's randomizer. So it's either 0 or 1 for all 3 roads. It's either there's an accident or there's not. And then if mode chosen is 1, which is user input, so you can either input 0 or 1. So it's basically the same thing. This R0, I will come back to this later. So the main printf incident reporting. As you can see, another one of those if compact if else statement. So if R1 doesn't have a if there's no an accident reported, so it will return the value 1. So it will say there's no accident. If it returns the value 0, congested, it will say very low speed. It's the same for all 3 roads. And then the R0 here, it basically sums up all the value from the road. So if R0 is 3, and we can get 3 by user inputting 1 on all 3 roads. So if all 3 roads is 1, then all 3 roads are fine. So overall excellent traffic. R0 equals to 2. So at least one of the road has an accident. So it will say slightly congested but nothing major. If at least 2 of the roads has an accident, it will say heavily congested, prepare for anything. If all the roads are congested, it will say just stay at home. And then it sleeps again, obviously, and then report then exiting, then continue the same thing. So for our next function, which is the weather impact alert, again we use the constant character with the pointer. For FR is flat risk, weather is just weather and warning. The integer weather is with the weather condition. The C stands for condition. So again, obviously, if the user pick randomized input, it will pick either one of 5 value. So 0 is for sunny, 1 is for cloudy, 2 is for light rain, 3 is heavy rain, and 4 is thunderstorm. And it stores it in the weather condition data. And here's the process. If weather 0, which is sunny, it will point the string to the character as sunny for weather, and FR0 warning, have a nice drive. So it's the same thing. If weather C is 1, it's cloudy. Weather C2, light rain. Weather C3, heavy rain. Weather C4, thunderstorm. So slim to none, be on the lookout, blah blah blah, get to safety immediately. And then here's the main print of the function. It is based off the process here. Weather impact alert, current weather status. So it calls for the weather character. Main string is technically a string now after the pointer. Flood race calls for the flood race, which is short for FR. Message is the warning. There's 5 warning here. Have a nice day. Be on the lookout for potential rain. Drive carefully. Drive with absolute concentration and get to safety immediately. So that's the 4 function. And for the last function, which is visibility check. Again, the variables and the randomizer is 1 of 4. 0 is clear, 1 is foggy, 2 is rain, and 3 is smoky. So it's the same thing. as our previous function, if vision check, vision check is 0, it will say that it's clear and the message will be have a nice ride. If vis check is 1, which is foggy, it will say thick fog, drive with caution, blah blah blah. If vision check is 2, which is rain, it will say heavy rain, low visibility, careful of slippery road. If visibility check is 3, which is smoky, it will say black smoke. Nearby fire detector, watch out for black smoke. And then the main print of the function, visibility check, visibility status, the vision from this process here. The same thing for the message, separated by a sleep function to make it look nicer. Visibility check done, sleep, and then continue. It loops the whole thing. And so that is all for the explanation of the code and the demo. Thank you.